telephone man. There's something wrong with my life. When I dial my baby's number, I get click every time, Mr. Telephone Man. Something wrong with my life. When I dial my baby's number, I get click every time. When I dial 611 computer service, she said, hello, may I help you please? I told her something must be wrong with my phone, cause my baby wouldn't hang up on me. There's something wrong with my Alright, what up, y'all? Everybody, I'm back for part 2 of the new edition story. Man, it was good, but y'all, I want to just first of all say this. I could take that little station break, do that little long intro, because it ain't going to be no different than those 10 million commercials that BET had on. It was ridiculous. They could have done this they could have done this series in 2 episodes. But over these last 2 days, they have had more commercials than a little bit. BET made some motherfucking money off of this motherfucking series. Damn, not just from the viewers that are watching it, from the damn motherfucking goddamn commercials that they are playing. Damn. I mean, it seemed like every 5 minutes that there would be, every scene there was a motherfucking what's the name. So I'm going to get into this because there wasn't a whole bunch that happened. It would just seem like it was over 2 hours, but there really wasn't that much that happened. So of course Ralph is sitting there when it picks up back up. Ralph is kind of like, look, Gary, why do I have to sing all the songs? I mean, because even though he was saying that it wasn't the guys were feeling jealous, but he's feeling the effects because they wouldn't even save him a wing, send him no pussy, no nothing. They kind of just was making him, oh, Mr. Big Shot, you think you the big guy, and they gonna sit there and kind of just shine him on out. And he was like, I mean, we started off as a group. I mean, everybody was having parts, and Gary right now, they have it in his head. Ralph is the star of the group. He was Michael Jackson. He was the Michael of the Jackson 5. He was the Diana of the Donna Ross and the Supremes. You know what I'm saying? He was that. He was Morris Day and Time. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they just made him that. He was the Gladys Knight, and they were the Pips. Anyway, he's dealing with that. Now, Mike, see, Bobby plays a whole bunch of little silly games, but all of them are so fucking immature, man. I mean, at the ages that they was at this particular point in time, all that little stupidity that they was doing. Mike sitting there trying to didn't want to sit in the middle, and I mean that motherfucking bullshit. And he gonna catch a cab, and then the two. I don't understand what the 2 guys. I thought the 2 guys were supposed to be keeping them. The big Fred and the other dude was supposed to be keeping them in check or watching them, and be like their little chaperones or whatever the fuck they were supposed to be. But he's saying, "Come on, let's go ahead and go." He ain't making sure everybody in the motherfucking car, so they gonna run over Mike's foot. Now Bobby's sitting there out the motherfucking window talking all that. I mean, out the moonroof of the limo, talking all that shit. When he spit on him, when Mike spit on him, I was like, that's what that... First of all, I would have wanted to pull his motherfucking ass out the moonroof and beat his motherfucking ass. Nigga, don't do that, I can't stand motherfuckers like that. I can't stand motherfuckers like that. They get on my motherfucking nerves. And then they see your foot is fucked up. How in the fuck you gonna be sitting there laughing and giggling? Whatever. And that motherfucker just ran over my motherfucking foot and we gotta dance and shit. Bitch, this is my motherfucking livelihood. And you over there laughing about the motherfucking shit, you dumbass, bitch ass motherfucking nigga. That's how I felt about Bobby Brown. When he spit on him, I said, good, thank you. And then when Bobby Brown gonna call himself jumping out on his motherfucking ass, and then he still ends up on the bottom. Bitch, don't come for somebody if you can't motherfucking sit there and get him. And he was wounded with his motherfucking foot, bitch. You still ended up on the bottom. So they was thinking about kicking Mike out, but Bobby did save him. Bobby, I mean, because the incident happened when Bobby was, since Bobby sit there and said that everybody else was going to pretty much go along with it, but they was about to kick Mike out the group. But this is the biggest thing about the whole fucking episode. We're gonna come back to different parts. We got to sit there and be like, address the ignorance that these parents had and the ignorance that these artists had. You cannot want. I mean, I give you a pass on the first time when you did not read a contract with Brooks. Brooks didn't know what he was fucking doing. So y'all kind of was, when y'all was with Maurice and all that type of signing that y'all was doing that by the fly and the assignment of maybe being famous. And I can go with it. But once you had to have that agreement with Gary, you should have sit there and read the fine print or had somebody look at it for you. So that, I mean, because first of all, you have an attorney to sit there and make sure that your paperwork is right, even though you're going to have a manager that's going to do a certain job for you. But you at least hire an attorney to sit there and say, is this a best deal that's going to benefit me? I mean, and I don't understand what these motherfuckers did. I mean, these parents, they just didn't have a fucking goddamn clue. And when they came back with that $1.87, there would have been no more of none of that. I mean, how can you fucking allow this? I mean, the ignorance, if you don't know your craft and somebody keeps on getting you, then that is all on you. So these mothers turning against each other, and they sitting there having... Gary comes up in there, and he's still saying, we need more time, and we need more time. After they didn't got them platinum albums. And even Gerald gonna sit there and say, I thought there was some misfits, and his motherfucking ass is gonna have to bite his words. And they still in the ghetto? They just now coming up. At the end of this episode, they just started getting their money right? There's just no way in the world. I mean, come on now. Y'all were really slow moving. But then we got Bobby Brown. Bobby's going wild, y'all. He's going super wild. Number one, they very disrespectful. Okay? Very, very, very disrespectful. Bobby's sitting there getting tickets and getting girls pregnant. And you know, when Gary came to him, I mean, and Gary when he got locked up and Gary got him out, all this happened he got locked up. Gary comes and bails him out. Once he bails, and then there was a commercial. And then when he got locked up, then Gary comes and bails him out. And he's in the studio afterwards. And they sitting there, what's the name? And that's when he finds out the girl had a baby. That was another commercial. This is all within 5 minutes. But the girl has a baby. But Gary's kind of clueless when it comes to them, because when Gerald sat there and told him, look, you better get something out of him. He said, this next album better be the motherfucking shit. And so now that's when he wants to start making them a little bit more flashy or whatever. So he can't relate to them as far as their dance move, because, oh, wait a minute. Ow! Do y'all remember when that choreographer they had before they broke Brooks back? That motherfucker had them doing. I mean, he said, "Oh hell no, we ain't doing that motherfucking shit." I don't know what the fuck he had them motherfucker doing. But they would have looked like a whole bunch of motherfuckers, the prancing, the dancing presserettes, or I mean, I don't know what the fuck they would have, the prancing elites or whatever. I don't know what they would have looked like, but they would look like a drill team, something going on, squad or something like that. Bring It squad. I don't know what the fuck you want to call them, but they would have been looking crazy as fuck doing those moves that queen was sitting there having them trying to do. So what did they do? At least Gary thought about the shit. He thought about shit, and he sit there and brung back Brooks. And Brooks was like, he's like, now you understand this. You just coming back as their choreographer. I'm the manager. The mamas wanted me to be a manager, so you understand. He said, I know why I'm back. You came to the motherfucking ghetto. You seen these ghetto ass kids, and you don't know what to motherfucking do with them. And he said, but I'm here for my boys. He came back, hooked them up with their little dance steps or whatever. Bobby's still on this, because Gary came to the point where it was obvious on if it would have been one thing if he would have just kept it status quo to where he didn't show favoritism, but he was like, "Is that okay with you, Ralphie? Is that okay? You're the star. You don't do that in front of four other people like that. You don't single out one person unless that's the way it's already set up. That's just like with the Dream Girls when it was Dina. I mean, you didn't want to sit there and just single out Dina. You want to sit there and be the Dream Girls. I mean, you just don't do that unless it's already known that this is going to be Dina and the what's the name. I mean, if they know that they're going to be background singers or backup, that's one thing. But when you come in as a group, you just don't do that to them and keep the morale up. Even if they're not getting that many songs that they're leading, you just don't do it that way. But he would do that. And so, and that's where Bobby was feeling slighted, because y'all know all of this all started from Bobby, for real. But Bobby's bitch ass was too scared to do it himself. So that's when he wanted to bring other people and have the group. And then it just so happens that when they was up in that booth that time to sing Candy Girl, him and, I don't know if it was him and Ricky or him and Mike that was fighting in the booth, and they got called out of the booth, and that's when Ralph went up in there and he blew it. And that's when Ralph was actually discovered as being, he was going to be like the lead. Because Maurice took a liking to him. Maurice only wanted him, but it's because Ralph didn't want to sit there and come by himself. Maurice said, well, then it's going to be the group. So now Mike is starting to feel, okay, so anyway, Mike is starting to get a little leery now too. Okay, so before that, Bobby continues to have a meltdown. So they doing Mr. Telephone Man. That was Bobby's song. He led that. The song is over, and he's still out in the crowd doing his own little thing. Everybody else is turning around, getting ready for the Cool It Now. You have to you have to count me. You have to count me out, baby, count me out. You have to count. I'm down for my baby. This time. Ooh, you have to count me out. But anyway, but Bobby's down that motherfucker. So Bobby gonna sit there. Before they go into the song, they started the song. Bobby sit there and realized that they was cutting him off. So he said, "This is my last time performing with New Edition," and threw the microphone back up. So they was doing their little routine. And Bobby comes out and steals the microphone and starts singing. So then they start fighting on stage. And Gary, first of all, okay. Back it up. I'm gonna go back real quick. Bobby only fucking up all the way around. Bobby's sitting there getting fucked up. He's sitting there with the bitches and the hoes in the car, snorting the cocaine. I mean, the cocaine with Bobby went all the way way back into. I thought that was around Whitney's time that he started doing. He been doing that for motherfucking goddamn years. That nigga been snorting coke for a minute. Damn, Bobby. And you up in the car just zapped the fuck out. And I'm like, well, goddamn. So, so after the fight, Gary already sitting there. I mean, after the cocaine, when Gary seen him, got him out the car because he was with the bitches or whatever, because he was late for getting on the bus. He was kept on talking to the dude talking about, he's a fuck up. He got to go, man. He gonna cause me to have a heart attack. So dude said, well, maybe it ain't all that. I mean, don't blame it all on him. And he said, no, man, come on, who else? I mean, he keep on doing all this motherfucking fucked up shit. It is him. He ain't no good. He gonna bring the group down. So when it gets to when it comes so after the fight. After the fight on stage, Gary said, "Look, what y'all gonna do? Cause he's bringing y'all down. I mean, they ain't even gonna pay for your gig tonight because of what happened on stage. So they're not even gonna pay you for the venue. I mean, for performing that night. So you need to call your mom and them and tell you ain't gonna get paid because of Bob Brown." So they basically voted Bobby Brown out. Bobby all down. Now Gerald is a motherfucker, y'all. He playing these little motherfucking kids like they're motherfucking fiddles. He playing Ralph, making him think he gonna have a solo album. He is gonna let Bobby. I mean, Bobby is. We already know that to be a fact. But he came to Bobby after he done been kicked out of the group, and I mean, told him that he can have a, because of something in the contract, he can be able to get him an album out, at least one album out the whole deal from MCA. And so Bobby's gonna do his own solo album. So he felt like he can make a comeback. And then he comes to Ralph, and that's when they added in Johnny Gill. And then Ralph decided he wanted to go solo. And the group had a problem with him going solo because they needed him because he was the anchor at this particular point in time. He was singing most of the songs. So if he was to leave and go solo, they're not going to be able to do no tours because he is the lead on the majority of the songs. Now, Bobby's verses or whatever, somebody else can fill them in, but he was the lead for the majority of the songs. That would fuck the whole group up if Ralph was the lead. So I understand where they was coming from on that whole front, that they didn't want him to leave. But he got an attitude because he felt like they was holding him back and they was being selfish. But Ralph, shut the fuck up, you little skinny ass motherfucker. Just do what you motherfucking goddamn do. So they go out and they get Johnny Gill to come in. And then now after Ralph figured, Gerald then jerked him around, talk about, well, you owe me one more motherfucking record. So I told you, you didn't get my hint that I was trying to tell you. You still got one more album because I was saying, well, go ahead, because Gerald was trying to say, go ahead and do this last album from New Edition, and that's going to be a smooth transition. He's like, man, no, I want to do this. He's like, look, basically, bottom line, since you want to talk business, you owe me one more. So, go do your job, and then we can talk about the next album. Ralph don't have no choice. So now Ralph got to go back to the group. But they got Johnny there. Well, he's more than welcome because he's going to be the fifth member anyway. He's going to take Bobby's place. Well, but even though Mike had different intentions on this whole thing, but Ralph was, that should have been a decision that I had a part of it. Nigga, you just told him that you were going to go solo, bitch. I mean, they didn't have to include you in on that motherfucking shit because you told me you wasn't going to be there. So how you going to have a vote? But anyway, so Ralph heard him when he sung or whatever, and him and Johnny Gill kind of dapped it out or whatever. They was looking all sharp and clean when they was doing Heartbreak Hotel. They was doing a little video shoot, but they just found out they going on tour, and guess who's going on tour with them? Bobby Brown, and that's going to be part 3. So I will see y'all tomorrow. This was a lot less. Y'all, please please subscribe to my channel. I mean, what's going on, y'all? I mean, it's for real. I mean, I just really want to know. You have to count me out. You have to count me. You have to count. I'm saving kisses for my baby. Whatever it is. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I mean, I got Black Kingdom Crew I'm going to do tonight. So that was some hooligan shit, too. And I'm out to talk to y'all soon. Peace out. Subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like. And that in that order. Peace.